This video is not intended for anyone 13 or younger. Viewers, and welcome back to another My Hero Academia reading reaction. I'm your humble host, Josh24214, and yeah, to be freaking honest, I should have been reading the chapters. And yeah, I've been gone for like 2 months since a new chapter. I I don't know what's really wrong with me during that time, but I think it was mostly because of the whole, COVID mess we've been going through for the last year and finally starting to stockpile. And I decided maybe I just need a little break. And I took a break and I come back fresh and new. And you know what? I don't really care if people don't actually watch this video, and well, you guys do care because you just want to hear reading reactions from your old friend Josh here. And today we are going to be tackling the long-awaited 2-month, long delay, oh god, of chapter 297. So, a reminder from the last 2 months since we last read this, in January 10th, which was the day before my birthday, and that was and last time we did had confirmation that is midnight and most of the heroes have died during this whole war arc, and we were just basically going through the aftermath, and some heroes are thinking about retirement because, well, I put it gently, that shit just got real with all the Shigaraki and All For One stuff that is going on from 2 months ago. And we ended off the last chapter with the possessed All For One in Shigaraki's body, planning to bust out his real body in Tartarus prison. So, will our heroes prevent this escape attempt? Well, it's been like 2 months, so spoilers have officially come out at this point. So, let us longfully await the long-awaited return of this show with Chapter 297, and let us properly dive in this long-overdue chapter. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It only takes 2 simple clicks. Click, click. Enjoy the episode. Oh, 3, 2, 1, and so to begin our chapter, we begin with the epic zoom out of Tartarus prison, and we get a huge plump of text saying what makes Tartarus so great, with a huge giant shot of the prison itself with Supreme Maximum Security Anti-Quirk Prison Tartarus, from the Greek version of the where all the Titans were locked up in Greek mythology, if you know your Greek mythology. Located 5 kilometers off the coast of the mainland, Japan, this prison has been built to house vast amounts of dangerous and diverse quirk users. It may function like a conventional prison, but in actuality, those who are deemed a severe threat towards the safety of the nation are locked up and monitored closely, regardlessly of whatever their sentence has been decided on yet. The facility is divided into 6 levels, where the potential threat level of criminals are deemed higher than the further underground you go. It's a prison where, once you enter, there is no chance of leaving. It is considered the darkest corner of Quirk society. And we have the logo of My Hero Academia with the chapter title of chapter number 297, which is entitled Tartarus. As we go into on our next page, we get actual time, but not the day. So, at around 8:34 p.m. at the mainland gate, we see the Golden Gate Bridge going towards the mainland with the main gate closed. And we get a little discreet more titles on the mainland gate, which is aka called the Bronze Gate, which is the front gate, and we go inside one of the gate towers when we get into a little conversation with the security guards living there, saying, "Hey, give us a status report." Bar 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 Breatos? Geis? I think Breatos is. I don't know how you pronounce that. And I'll just. You know what? I don't. I know. I'm trying. I know. I may slur a few words. But we get into Geis, who's getting mowed down. A lot of action going there with banging of AK-47 shooting. With Gaius here, while more gunfire is unleashed. And on the next page, we get the return of the rise of the machines, of the robot drones from at pretty much the beginning of the series. With AK-47s and machine guns mowing down whoever's trying to stop them, while Geist continues saying, Trigger a code red security alert. Probably with alarms blaring off at the same time. And you kind of outsource to the machines, which robots usually fall apart goddamn easy down here. And meanwhile, we quickly cut away to we cut away to the person who attacking while the guards saying, Breas Breos is down. They killed my brother. We need a code red now. And while more AKs from the robots keep shooting off, and we see the distinct silhouette of the high-end Nomus that were with Shigaraki last time. So they're dealing with the high ends. And on the next page, we get a full reveal that Shigaraki, all for one possessing Shigaraki's body, is at Tartarus trying to make good on his threat to free his original body from Tartarus. And now we have All for One speaking through Shigaraki's body while basically making like a shield wall, I think, with All for One saying, how uninspiring. As All for One just basically snaps all those people away with a good snap and DK everybody there and all the robots. And we get a shot of pretty much another EMP going off. As we go inside the prison, inside Tartarus, we head to Tartarus, B10, Deepest Stratum. So pretty much the 10th floor of this prison. And while all this crazy action is going on, we get into a little conversation with two random guards, having a little, basically a 21 and 24 situation, talking about what's been going on recently. I hear we're welcoming the Big Oaf to his new home tomorrow morning, so Giga and, the other guard confirms, saying, yeah, Gigantomachia? He's real old mush-faced goon, right? So Giga is not inside the prison, and probably most of the people from the raid have not arrived yet. So they're probably going to be locked up as soon as things get sorted. And we get into more of the gods' conversation, saying, "What? They couldn't kill that thing? No, the guns are." While this little conversation, we cut to the control room with those two doing their 21 and 24 spiel. So what were they doing when the alarms started blaring when Shigaraki arrives? Gives you food for thought.
Come on, they have one female servicing a large group of males. That implies a species that lays eggs.
Smurfs don't lay eggs! I won't tell you this again. Papa Smurf has a f***ing beard. They're mammals.
Yeah, had to give food for thought, with the other guard saying, nope, guns are useless against a giant like him. And since he's human, they wouldn't just blow him up to bits with a missile. And the first guy continues saying, human, hardly, more like a disaster on legs, or a wild beast. Just like the rest of the animals we keep locked up here. And the other guy interrupts saying, cut it out, You know we're being recorded. The Hearts and Mind Party may be dissolved, so that's probably the Hearts and Mind Party. Yeah, they were dissolved because they are involved with the Quirk Liberation Army. Can't remember. Was it Trumpet who was the head of the Hearts and Mind Party? But its functions won't let this golden chance pass them by. And the other guy continues saying, we got our hands full with customs of human rights, customs of human right violations. You don't know where something will be leaked from. And the other guy saying, I'm right though. As we quickly cut away while the guy continues, we see on the next page, we see three identical, four, five identical people on this floor. And we see, in the images, we see musculature, overhaul, Moonfish, who's kind of Moonfish, who's bashing against the wall. We have musculature, pretty much the bane of Midoriya, who almost died due to musculature. Overhaul, basically a handless cripple. Korogiri, who's still tied up and hasn't activated. Stain, who's still inside because the anime kind of forgets that, yeah, Stain is still in Tartarus still, and the anime kind of botched that up. I can't wait for their excuse for botching such an important moment up for time. And we all know the last person, the original OG All For One, is still inside his cell doing nothing. And we also get weirdly introduced to a new female villain in this chapter, and we don't actually get a name from her, so I can easily just make up a name later. So, as the guard continues while all that's going down, saying, they might walk and talk like people, but these disgusting beings are only managed to mingle with society as long as they did because their quirks have warped our standards for humanity. Yeah, you tend to screw that job up. And on the next page, probably the alarm kicks in, going burp, burp, burp. Code red, security alert. Intruders detected. Code red, security alert. And the two guards are like, oh god, here we go. And the whole entire prison is on lockdown with the system still going boop, boop, boop. Now sealing off every floor. All staff be on high alert. And we get one of the guards saying, the gate! And after everything that's happened, what terrible timing! Wait, unless they came here after escaping? And they started lifting up I think lowering the bridge because of the red alert. Yeah, they're starting to lower the bridge so the villains can't escape. And now we got combat drones to fight against the high-end Nomus, with the computer saying, bridge is being lowered. Coitus, deploying, seeking all bird drones and whatever drones. And the computer just says on the high-end Nomu, targeting for kill, and just starts mowing these high-end Nomus down. And yeah, next page we see things are going to hell with the army of high-end Nomus, where's Shigaraki? And we see up in the sky, in the next panel, we see Shigaraki riding on a giant flying high-end Nomu, just ready to go part of the swarm on this entire goddamn place. And things are getting even weirder with Shigaraki finally having a personality change, with him finally waking up after all this, saying, I said, this is my body, master. And now All For One and Shigaraki are having another arguing dispute on who's in charge of the body here. And we get another in the last panel of the page page 9, we get a nice zoom in and seeing that we can tell that, yeah, All for One is still in control here, saying, "Now awake now, are you? No. I'm prescribing a good long's rest. The hyper regeneration isn't working very well. I need you to be healthy." And on the next page, this devolves into an argument between All for One and Shigaraki with another good 4 panels of showing which personality is doing the speaking. You can tell from one of the eyes is being shown that could easily be argued as All for One, with Shigaraki starting it with, "But you're the one who said to give my body a break." "Yes, after I do what I must." "It's my body. Give it back." "Oh, but wasn't it you who desired my power?" As the argument continues, we see All for One continuing his philosophical debate with Shigaraki as he charges with the flying Hayanomu into the army of platoon of robots with AKs just shooting up into the air and just about to do another Heart of the Swarm, with All for One saying, "You spat upon the world that didn't so much as extending a helping hand, and you desired the strength to make good on your hatred. This is the result of your powerful will. You brought this all about, and isn't that what really matters?" And we cut to the next page, with Shigaraki continuing the argument, saying, I won't be your stinking pawn." As All for One in the spectral realm saying, "Pawn, you have it all wrong, Tomura. You are so very near and dear to me." As we have Shigaraki touching the ground and basically just decaying everything, with All for One saying, "After all, you are the next me." As a giant huge burst of artistic remnants, as an artistic style of saying, "Yeah, you're mine, and I want to burn the whole world around me," with really good artwork from Horikoshi as always. As we cut to the next page, yeah, he basically decays and kills a lot more people, including the robot, saying, "The guard," and probably the guy at floor 10 continues saying, "The guard towers just decayed into nothing. It is Shigaraki and the Namus." And Shigaraki's just saying, As we get into All for One's head, who's possessing Shigaraki, saying, "I've pinpointed my real body's location with search, but it is in the deepest level, about 500 meters below sea level. Even if I decayed the structure while leaving my body untouched, the crushing water pressure would kill me. Furthermore, this incomplete body is coming apart as we see in the last panel. Yeah, using that huge burst of decay is destroying his head. So yeah, All for One has to deal with the whole, this body is not 100% complete, and it's just basically the Nemesis form, not the Thanos level yet. With All for One continuing saying, "I require other villains." So he's busting out a lot of villains. And we have on the next panel, the screen goes dark with All for One saying, "Tartarus, how obnoxious. Bringing Giga along would have barely helped. Not when they have the resources to respond so decisively. And even if this new body has been perfected, invading from outside the prison would still be a tall order. As it got cancelled, we can quickly cut back to the guys in floor 10 as something weird's going on, with one of the guards saying, "Our monitoring system's down. We've been hit by some sort of EMP attack." And the other guy kicks in saying, "Systems back up, systems back up in 3 seconds." "Wait, but how?" And the other guard continues saying, as we cut to a door spouting electricity, saying, the inmates shouldn't have no way of knowing the system's down. As a huge bolt of electricity is coming out of one of the safe doors containing a prisoner. As we see on the next page, we still get more of Overone continuing saying, even I would have a tough time struggling against this particular god. No, you can't get out at all, as we have a reminder that All For One did have a conversation with All Might when he was locked in, and All For One continues saying, you were mostly right, All Might. As we see a huge door in the wall blown up, as we see more of the electricity is now affecting the other locks. So yeah, this place is just... things are going to get a little crazy, full Arkham Asylum here with all the crazies and all the criminals, super criminals getting out. That is, unless my operation both inside and outside was coordinated and in sync. As if through a shared awareness. So we get a little more, so with that bit, we get a little more clarification on what's really going on. That what All For One is saying, the whole possession of Shigaraki at this point, it's not like two separate persons are in control here. I think, yeah, technically there's like two different versions of All For One in two different places, and you have one inside and one outside of the prison. So, and yeah, he's basically got a swarm, a hive mind at this point, with having two All For Ones at the same time. But I'm just saying it theoretically. So yeah, this place is going to go full Arkham Asylum, as we see on the next page, as the two guards respond to this insanity and making things as the alarms keep blaring more and more. Beep, beep. System's not coming back up. The cell blocks, they're all unlocking from the inside. As we see more of the SWAT people, the SWAT guards trying to get control of the asylum. So now the crazies are now ruling the asylum. Suppression squads, move in. Subjugate inmates in all cell blocks. Boom, as we see another guard getting killed by another explosion. Regulations state that any inmate who steps through the door must be boom, as someone interrupts, as we see a all too familiar silhouette coming out of the carnage and killing another guard. And we see one of the SWAT members just saying, fire, fire, firing out an AK-47 trying to suppress the prisoner. As we see who on the next panel, as that guard gets squashed easily, and we get a reveal on who just basically broke into the security room, saying, like those pea shooters couldn't kill me. As we see in the next panel, we see Musculature fully baned up and muscle bound, getting ready to go full juggernaut on everybody. And yes, I will not be doing that joke. It'd be too friggin' easy for me. Now, where is the exit out of this hell? I'm bound for paradise. As we cut to the next panel, we see the release of Moonfish. Remember him from the whole Forest arc way back then? Our favorite Cinnabite using teeth as swords, as more SWAT members getting skewered by Moonfish. Yeah! As we see like a random criminal with a random criminal who basically died from getting stabbed in the back by Moonfish, saying, damn, just when. As we see Moonfish can actually speak, using cutting more of the walls, saying, flesh, flesh. As we see the already seen female criminal coming out right behind, saying, And we still don't get a name for her, still, for a while, as she says, the system isn't responding to quirks. What's the world coming to? As our new femme fatale sees another criminal door, and she's looking at it, and it's like having the last picture of the panel saying, like, I don't know. As she goes to that door, and she's opening the door containing another criminal, as we get like a second panel showing like she's probably activating her quirk, and she's like affecting the magnetic locks, maybe her quirk is like metal bending or something. So until we get like a proper name, you know what, I'm just gonna call her a different name, until like a made up name, until we get her real name revealed. So I'm just gonna, for until we see her again with a full proper name and her quirk, I'm just gonna basically call her Lady Tezzeret from now on. So Lady Tezzeret unlocks the door, and as we see who comes out, it's Overhaul, who still has no hands, because yeah, Shigaraki and Mr. Compress thought, hey, you chopped up with with um with Mr. Compress getting back at Overhaul by, chopping his arm off when they first met, and vice versa, Karma's a bitch. While Overhaul comes out, he says, boss? As we cut back to outside, a lot of the carnage is continuing saying, wait a sec, we ain't going anywhere without the bridge. Ah, give me a break. I'm dying to set foot on the world of the free and living. As we get rudely interrupted, we see someone starts talking, and it's Overone in Shigaraki's bodies, with Overone saying, if it's freedom you desire, then submit to me, my brethren, and bear witness by my side. As we see Musculature looking at this scene, saying, Shigaraki? As he's kind of surprised of what's going on here. And on the next page, and on the final page, we get a full page spread of the reveal that All for One is finally escaped, and he's carrying his air equipment in his way to freedom, with All for One saying, the real OG Over One coming out saying, it's imperating this impending void era will give rise to a more perfect demon lord. As we have, and continues saying, and this will be the story of how I become the world's greatest demon, how I become the great demon lord of all. As we have the chapter end with My Hero Academia, chapter 297, and yeah, things are just going to get very depressing from now on. So yeah, all the villains are escaped. We're introduced to Lady Tezzeret until, well, she gets her real name, so I'm just gonna call her that in the meantime. So I hope you guys enjoyed the chapter, and I'll see you next time for chapter 298, and hopefully it won't be as long as the last one. So until then, have a good day, everybody, and I'll see you next time. So bye for now.